Hails and welcome to Rauta's Black Metal Reviews. This time we go to Poland with a band called Nyctophilia with the sixth album Weltschmerz. This one-man project, shall we call it, bedroom black metal, is one of the kind that operates around atmospheric and depressive black metal. If you know the style, you are very much expected to know what's coming for you. One could say this is a kind of a style that Burzum above others, mostly made famous and known, but of course there are plenty of others doing similar style and tapping into the more depressive, darker ways of black metal with not too much tempo, aggression and violence. Nyctophilia has been around since 2014 and since 2016 basically released an album every year except 2020, which was a exception to this rule. Also, besides album, the project has been putting out quite a few shorter releases, splits, demos, what have you. I've reviewed some of them before, so I'm not exactly a newbie to the band, but I can really say that I have heard all of them, roughly half the albums and then some other ones as well. And when Nyctophilia has peaked, it has been really, really good. For example, this album Ad Mortem et Tenebrae from 2018. But its weaker points are just quite okay. Decent stuff, but nothing mind-blowing and that kind of stuff. Unfortunately for this band in question, Weltschmerz from 2021, is exactly that with its 5 tracks, 52 minutes of atmospheric, depressive, melancholic, somewhat melodic black metal. The thing here is, it doesn't even matter if these songs are lengthy as hell, as they mostly are, more than 10 minutes each, but what matters is there's nothing worth remembering with these songs. Now, to a lot of people that might sound like as a big cursing word, but let's be honest about it. A lot of music still serves as a great background tunes and the kind of ambience in the sense of, building the kind of a momentum for certain kind of thinking or feeling, whatever it is. So, for example, this kind of stuff is not so much about individual riffs or, killer chorus parts or stuff like that. But people who are looking for that, even in this genre, when we're talking about, say, Burzum classic ones, where you have those really memorable ones, that is riffs or certain spoken parts or, even, singing, whatever. That is what defines the really great ones and separates them from the chaff. That is the mediocre ones and the less of that. Now, Weltschmerz isn't exactly mediocrity, but in fact it's not great either. It's more like, yes, kind of a work in progress towards the better ones, but not exactly getting the cigar. The thing here is, while its atmosphere is good, and the somewhat lo-fi production doesn't really hurt it at all, the vocals are pretty kind of a basic black metal raspiness. There's nothing, absolutely nothing that really sticks when you're okay, this is the song, this is the riff or whatever. Everything is more about this kind of ambience in the terms of being more like background black metal. It might sound like an insult, but like I said, there's a plenty of good bands which just work fine as that. But when you really start figuring out, okay, this riff is followed by that part, which is then again followed by that one, you get the idea. This is not the kind of stuff you probably pick your own guitar, just figure out the riffs or, go with the sing-along with the lyrics. No, of course, black metal is not exactly that, but we all know there are songs which are so iconic, you almost can't even, stop singing them. I'm talking about Mother North kind of stuff here. And even when we're talking about Burzum, there are also these kind of parts, suddenly life has a new meaning, etc. Now, that is where Nyctophilia is not operating. It's not really offering you the tools or the parts or the ideas yes, let's go with this one. Now, like I said, this might sound like a bad deal here, but it's not. Because where Weltschmerz actually does good job is doing that atmosphere, building the kind of ambience. And then you kind of figure out, actually, it works for the favor of the band to have these length tracks. So it's kind of a divided album in so many ways. On the other hand, lacks memorability, catchiness, etc. On the other hand, well, when you want that kind of a background stuff, I just made that word up, it's silly, then you have this kind of album which is totally good. For example, I was working here, writing a press release. And this kind of stuff, I can totally kind of get into the mood. I mean, it's not like my written text is depressive as such, but more about I'm getting the kind of a good vibe from this kind of a dark music, which is just like overwhelming. So it has its purpose and it's good. But compared to the best of Nyctophilia, I don't think Weltschmerz really has a chance. For people who are already fans of the band, this is pretty solid release. But those who are new to the band and don't know where to start, I wouldn't say start with this one. There are better albums out there for that purpose. So definitely worth a check and all that, but it's not exactly the album of the year material. So there you have it. Links are provided in the description box so you can start listening through the band's Bandcamp site, or then you will find other sources for your favorite music. This is Rauta. Take care and bye bye.